Yo, what is going on, guys? And today I want to talk about, could LeBron have won any more championships outside of the few that you could talk about when he was part of the Heat? So I want to hear down below before we start today's video, what championships do you think LeBron could have won? And if you don't think, tell me why down below. So let's get into this, and shout out to Reddit for giving me this idea and influence this. So in my opinion, LeBron played in an era where the league was entering the three-point revolution, and teams haven't yet figured out the best strategies to win. The league was a blend of old styles and new styles, dominating inside, having twin towers, slashing and churning around fadeaways. These were all the best ways to score, and most teams didn't know yet that all of this was going to significantly alter or become obsolete in the next decade. On the surface of the 2011 Big Three in Miami had overwhelmingly talent advantage over the the Mavs. But that was just like a standard of talent if we just looked at it on paper. The Mavs played a modern style of basketball that allowed them to win that series. If you looked at it with a modern lens, the Mavs were actually a better constructed roster and arguably a more talented slash skilled roster compared to the Heat. Game 1 through 4 were basically tied. The margin of victory were small and the games could have gone either way, but games 5 and 6 were lopsided because of three-point shooting. Specifically, the Mavs won by playing more shooters and B by playing zone, which forced Miami to shoot threes to create spacing. And if you think about it, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh were all bad three-point shooters in 2011 by 2015 standards, which is why the league was about to be rocked to its core. And I can remember vividly that during the 2013 finals, the Heat's best lineup statistically neither had Wade or Bosh in it. It was Chalmers, Ray Allen, Shane Battier, the Birdman, Chris Anderson, LeBron James. By old standards, that was a really bad lineup. Though that was the Heat's strongest lineup because it had two second-round picks, a 33-year-old Battier and a 36-year-old Allen. And you think, how is that a good lineup? It's obvious. That team had to spread the floor with threes, and they had these three-point shooters and a big man to fight for boards and protect the rim, and then he had LeBron James as that Swiss Army knife who could do everything. And Birdman wasn't even a great center at the time. He was literally a buyout guy. And by 2014, the Spurs scorched Miami by a record margin, with Danny Green hitting a ridiculous amount of threes. And at the time, it looked so lopsided that people were using it to tarnish LeBron's GOAT case and his legacy in general. But now the lopsided point differential are so common because every team launches so many threes that it just always happens. In 2015, LeBron wised up. He knew the power of the three-point shot, so he teamed up with Kyrie and Love, two elite shooters for their positions, which would make the Heat lineup look like a G League team. And the Cavs and Warriors would face off 4 times, and we all know what happened there. But the takeaway is that 4-year rivalry is that while every team was trying to catch up on the three-point revolution, the Warriors were revolutionizing the three-point offense and defense. Curry moving without the ball was wrecking defenses, but more importantly, Golden State was able to put 5 switchable defenders on the court at once to prevent open three-point shots. This was a glaring weakness the Cavs had that the Warriors were able to exploit. It's why the 3-1 deficit comeback coincided with Love's injury and RJ entering the starting lineup. It's also why a Big 3 Cavs team was less capable of beating the Big 4 Golden State Warriors than the hardened CP3 Rockets were. The Rockets could put up 5 perimeter defenders on the floor while the Cavs couldn't do that. This led to Kawhi teaming up with PG and LeBron teaming up with Anthony Davis. Teams were built now to defend the perimeter and not the paint like they were 5 years ago. And to think about how absurd NBA GMs would think 15 years ago if they saw how we were building teams today, because they would think it wouldn't work. The game rapidly evolved and through the response of the three-point shot. And all of LeBron's losses were because his team were behind the curve, and it wasn't because of him. So the reason why LeBron looks like he lost despite a talent advantage in most of his, series, it's because the teams he was facing were ahead of the curve. Three-point shot, they were playing basically. It was almost, if you look at Moneyball. Why did Moneyball work in the MLB? It's because the Oakland Athletics were ahead of the curve with analytics and data. And basically, you could say this, in this case, all the teams that LeBron lost to were ahead with a three-point shot and building their teams that were capable of defending not only LeBron, but the rest of the league. Because LeBron's teams weren't that versatile, which is one of the reasons why it didn't work for him to win. He could have 8 rings. He could have 9 rings. Yeah, he went to 9 finals. I want to say that track. But yeah, I want to hear down below now as we wrap this up. What do you guys think of LeBron James' legacy? What finals should he have won? And it would have been cool if he won the original '07 one. I think that '07 one, the first final you went to, is up in the air. I honestly think that, yeah. But yeah, shout out this guy on Reddit, Naive Illustrator. for this basically. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy that. Like, subscribe, comment, but peace out.